On to leisure now, and who doesn't love an excuse to squeeze themselves into some lycra every now and again? Our leisure programmes are all about keeping bodies and minds healthy. Thousands of people come through our doors every year, having fun, getting fit, and making memories. Isn't that right, Martin?
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, thank you for some of the presentations, or all the presentations. Absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to name all or whatever, but absolutely fantastic. What I will do before I start, I don't normally need a microphone. What I will do before I start, though, because as Gareth said, this is an opportunity to highlight or thank, etc. And there are some departments that maybe aren't represented today, or some teams that aren't represented, or even individuals. So I will miss some out, I know, and I will thank those that have fully supported me in what I have to deliver for YMCA. I'm quite clear on what my objectives are, what my mission is for YMCA, but you can't do it alone. So I'm going to take this opportunity in front of some of the people at YMCA just to thank certain individuals and departments. The first one, and I didn't realise when I was asked to give my feedback and comments on building services, that my comments would be made quite so publicly, because I'd hate to think that building services think I was going too soft. The building services department, which I meet regularly, particularly with Jonathan, Chad, and Dean. It is a fantastic department. It is a fantastic. Everyone in YMCA we're just here to try our best. We're just trying to do our best all the time. And building services, whether it be Steve down at Bayside, whether it be obviously Mark, and I'm going to lose people I know, but Mark, whether at Westover Road, etc. But Jonathan and Dean, thank you, and thank you for your departments, because I couldn't do really what I do without that department. So I'd like to thank Building Services Department personally as well for what they do for me. I'd also like to thank the Central Sales, Marketing and Admin Department, which is 2 offices away from mine at the junction. Too close, they would say. But that's Karen and Abigail who work in that department. It's strange when we talk about these big areas and then you realise actually it's only one person or it's only 2 people doing it part-time, etc. But Karen Brixey and Abigail Ensbury, absolutely fantastic. They're backed up with Sophie in that department as well. But I'd like to say thank you for them, because again, that's the marketing, that's almost the unseen stuff, that's the printing, that's the social media, that's absolutely everything. So my thanks to that department as well. Yeah. I am going to quicken it up, John, so don't worry, okay, because I will go through quickly because I know about the time. I'd also like to thank, because it is an extremely busy centre, I know the Junction's role as part of YMCA Bournemouth, so I was delighted to know that Rachel Barrett, the head of reception, is here this afternoon. So I'd like to thank Rachel and her team for her constant delivery of great service at the Junction. So thank you for that, Rachel, as well. I could go on to the finance team and someone that I've known for a very long time, and Ronnie's here today, which again I'm very pleased with. So Ronnie, my thanks to you as well, whatever. So your team, fantastic. I know Kate, is Kate still here? No, Kate, no, it's been a fantastic addition to your team as well. So that's really, really pleased to know. So, and my last one, that again helps me personally, and I know everyone will, we're all part of it, but it helps me personally. And you don't really have time to say thank you. You're almost like boom, 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 boom. You don't have time to say thank you. But I would like to highlight, and I'm hoping he's still, yes, he is still here, is Stuart. Stuart works for Building Services / caretaking. Stuart is highly flexible, and he just gets on with it. And I think as I'm getting older, I just love people who just get on with it. And Stuart does exactly that. He's very flexible in terms of what time he opens up for the Winton or the Starvale, or if he's got something to do. I know Building Services speak highly of him regarding the compliance work he does. So Stuart, thank you very much indeed as well. So thank you. I'm just going to flick through these, because obviously last year I delivered all the, talked about all the activities and all the functions and all the facilities that I'm very proud to deliver on behalf of YMCA Bournemouth. And I thought that this year, rather than going through it again, whatever, and some of you, I think it was a surprise regarding bits and pieces that we did, but this year I'm going to concentrate particularly on what the customers and the hirers, what we do for them and what their comments are. So when I ask them, why do you choose to use that particular YMCA facility or service? Why do you choose us? Etc. Now, the Junction Sports and Leisure Centre, again, we went round. We've got over 5,000 members there. As Gareth said, over 1,000 people learning to swim. You know, it's an amazing facility with no car park, but an amazing facility. And it was affordability. Gobsmacked. I showed around BCP people about 2 days ago around the Junction. There's a landlord check, whatever. And they were gobsmacked regarding the pricing of our memberships and that it's a fully inclusive membership. But that's what YMCA does. It gives accessibility. It makes sure that everyone can afford it, etc. So when you've got a club of 11 to 17-year-olds that can have unlimited public swimming 7 days a week, unlimited gym sessions 7 days a week, and they pay £12 a month, then we're doing something right. And of course, we're popular. It's not rocket science. So it's lovely to see. I think a lot of the people in the gym, the 3:30 to 5:30 slot, particularly Monday to Friday, I think, oh, here we go, we've got the bloody kids in again, everything like that, etc. But they're not hanging around the bus stations. They're not doing it. They're really interested in doing bits and pieces. And some of them might just come for social gain, etc. So what? It's just really good to, again, produce and promote a safe place for them. So affordability, locality, obviously always there. Continued equipment investment. We do invest highly at the Junction because I would say, unfortunately, 95% of people still walk through that door, and it's not for YMCA. It's because of affordability, it's locality, it's because of the facility. That's fine. That's life. That's reality. So we make sure that we stay top of the pile. All my friends use this facility. Okay, it was one of the things that came out from a lot of people. Friendly staff, lovely atmosphere, clean changing rooms. And then I asked certain people, well, what about the bar lounge upstairs? Functions, we've got a very big function room, and we need to sell that, and that's what the sales and marketing and admin department do, and they do it well. Out of 52 Saturday nights every single year, we would sell probably over 40 Saturday nights. And that doesn't include Friday nights, and Thursday nights, and the quiz nights, and the Sunday functions, etc. This was a lovely testimonial from Lucy from the dementia charity locally. And what we do, we don't just hire and say, there you go, thanks very much, that's X amount of pounds, etc. But what we say is, well, do you want any raffle prizes? What can we do for you? What are the details? So every single function has its own personal notes. We want 3 tables there, we want 4 tables there, can we have that one tablecloth, that one, etc. That's what we do, we look after people. Again, it's not rocket science, but I think we do it very, very well. The Bayside Fitness Club, which we took over as YMCA back in August, so we took it over officially really from the 1st of September. So I asked the Bayside members, which I think realistically, on paper it might have been a bit more, but realistically, I think we had about 600 members when we took over that place. And now we're at 1,500 and growing. Our target is 2,000. But it's got free parking, it's got the value for money, again, the continued equipment investment, supportive on-floor staff team. It's an exceptional team at Bayside. They really do get involved on the shop floor. Good cleanliness throughout. Steam and sauna facilities was always good, and the Les Mills programme, the biggest Les Mills programme probably locally. A lot of people have dropped that. Les Mills is just a series of certain activities in terms of fitness classes, but we do a bank of 3 or 4 sets of those. Very rarely does any club do that now anymore. Winton YMCA, I went round to Winton again. Why Winton? And it was again the size of the facility, the size of the hall, the size of the studios, the accessibility, though I know counselling might think some of the parking is a bit limited sometimes, whatever. Again, another facility where we don't really have parking assigned to us. Issues sorted quickly. Storage facilities on site, always a bonus for any, and it's secure and it's safe. Got some lovely groups there, really lovely groups. And obviously the kitchen is a real plus as well. Sandy Home House, which we've heard a little bit about today. I'm very proud to run Sandy Home, and what Sandy Home does and what the Junction gives and what Bayside gives and what everything else gives, it gives us the opportunity to support people firsthand when it comes to that Sandy Home House. So we give discounted stays, we give complimentary stays, we try and look after that as best we can. Again, that's easily accessible. A lot of things on that bottom floor. It's a short walk to the beach. Self-catering, they love the self-catering option. Supports YMCA's work came out a lot of the time when I asked them. They said, well, you know, we like it because we know where the money's going to and we know where the money's staying, etc. It's a reflective space, a space for activities, perfect setting. And then I asked Jen, who I work with, she's one of the managers, the schools manager at Land and Wave. We do a lot of work with Land and Wave. Land and Wave take Duke of Edinburgh, they take people down there for swimming, etc., activities, kayaking, etc. So that was a lovely quote there from Jen when asked, well, why do you use Sandy Home, etc. I know I'm going to hurry through, so my apologies if you don't have time to fully read everything there. And again, this is one from Polly Brown, which she quotes Matthew chapter, see, I don't know. Is it chapter 11, verse 11? Chapter 11, verses 28 to 30. Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. And it was a lovely quote she gave me, so a lovely testimonial. So that was really excellent on that one. Groups that we support down there, I thought I'd have a look back through the last 18 months and see what groups have actually used Sandy Home. So we've got Land and Wave, we've got the Wild Free Swimming Organisation, and we've got local and national colleges. We have private individuals with large families, as far away as Cardiff, etc. We have various churches and their groups, youth organisations, YMCA residents, which I know John alluded to, etc. And groups focused on the lives of adults with learning disabilities, life-changing groups, etc. International care work, the ICN, lovely group to work with. We also deal with the healthcare providers. Yoga and Pilates companies have come over the last 2 years, so they're starting to hire our facilities. Moorlands College, Paul Christian Fellowship, and running groups, and more Pilates and yoga, and cancer retreat groups. So that was just a little taste of who benefits from YMCA's work, etc. The Stourbell Centre, I'm just going to literally touch on because obviously Stourbell Centre is a superb facility, and my thanks to Lisa. I think, is Lisa's still here. Lisa deals with all the bookings at Stourbell and the inquiries, etc. So I'm hoping we're going to make that grow with the addition now also of Luke, which some of you wouldn't have known. Luke is our new YMCA Bournemouth Operations and Development Manager across all facilities. He's based at the Junction at the moment there. But Stourbell Centre, always a fantastic place, whatever, upstairs, downstairs, etc. Fusion's going well, St Mungo's. So they're hiring all 3 floors. It used to be a separate floor for each group. St Mungo's now take the whole floor. So that's what we do. We help them do that. We look after that building. You know, we support them for it. Training courses going well. I know I've worked with, we've tried to do some more courses. We will continue to do some more courses, etc. So that's all going relatively well using different facilities. The holiday clubs, again, looking after those, that's growing, etc., and needs to grow. It used to be bigger than it is today, but it reminds me that you can build what you want, and maybe this sums up today. You can build what you want. You can build the facility, etc., but when it comes down to it, it's the actual person. And I think with the holiday clubs, I think over the years, we've sometimes lacked that 1, 2, 3 people to actually run those holiday clubs. You know, we did some more training during the week. We had a positive meeting during the week, which is really good. But the holiday clubs are at 100 children per day. And you think, wow, 100 children per day, 5, that must be amazing, fantastic. But I remember a day when it was 400, 500 a day, because you'd hire local schools, Avonbourne, Rushcombe, Litchett, etc. So we can do more, and that's what we relentlessly try and focus on, is doing more. So holiday clubs will grow. So in conclusion, really, YMCA Bournemouth deliver, obviously, quality facilities and services in the BCP area. Something that we can all be proud of. We're all part of it. Certain groups and departments, allow myself and my teams to do more. But it was lovely talking to people in the cafe area, etc., because we are all one. We are all one, and we all have such an important role to play. And the lives we touch. One of my favourite groups at the Junction is we have the walk-in football. That's fantastic. We have the walk-in netball, which is fantastic. Half the time they're definitely not walking, to be honest. But I think one of my favourite groups is the indoor aeroplane and drones flying club. It's, to be honest, like Gatwick Airport. I got a couple of windows in my office that overlook the hall, and every now and then you'll see this plane and then this drone, etc. You don't know what to do, really. But I know that the 10 to 11 to 12 guys that are down there, some of them, that will be the most important hour in their whole week. Full stop. Whether they're divorced or whether they're widowed or whatever. But the banter that goes on down there, etc., that's why we do it. Sometimes I talk probably too much to people in the gym when I do my little couple of sessions each week. And I've had people, of course, you ask that question, how are you? And it's when they start crying, you think, why did I do that? Why? I need to get back on that machine. But you ask them, and they just open up, because I think, they come in there and I talk. I love talking to them. I just love to. I wish, Mark, we had an old employee, Mark Robinson, and I remember him coming up to me. He was in the gym, and he used to come up and say, Martin, I'm sorry, I've spent the last couple of hours just talking to people. And I said, brilliant. Just talk to them. Just talk to them, because we don't realise loneliness, etc. So thank you all. I'm very proud to do what I do, and I couldn't do it without the whole damn team. So thank you.
Thank you, Martin. That is great. Brilliant.